Podcast.
The Manny Baptista podcast.
Yes. Manny Baptista podcast. And we're live. Adam Leavitt. Aidan Leavitt. Look at that. Tough start.
Oh, no worries. Our man in Amsterdam. The wind cries Manny. How you doing?
Dude, how you been?
I've been good. Yeah.
Dude, it's so excited to get you on the podcast. You mind if you get close to the
closer?
mic? Yeah, just so we can
Okay.
our audience can hear you.
Fair enough.
So what's your major, Aidan?
I'm an anthropology major, earth science minor.
Yep.
So I'm interested archaeology, geology. That's kind of my deal.
All right. You didn't take any dope classes this semester?
Double classes?
Sweet class, like cool ones. You want
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Let's see. Taking a capstone, which is basically just research, so it's whatever I want to work on. So I like that class a lot just because I can kind of
do it at your own pace.
Direct my energy to something I have an interest in. But I'm taking a Mediterranean landscapes course. That one's interesting. Sedimentology. I like that one.
Oh, that's cool too.
It is. Yeah. I get to learn a lot about different processes that affect soil layers and
soil. Save soil.
Yeah. So yeah, save the soil for the yeah. I'd say that's what I enjoy the most, I think.
Dude, I love soil. Soil is so cool to think about. It's like a marketplace for plants, dude.
Well, you got to draw all these nutrients in to, have a good harvest. If you're a farmer, it impacts the environment around you so much, and you don't even really know it. The underlying geology of a place has a profound impact on what you're able to grow there, what the environment's like, the native tree species, plants, animals. It impacts
so much.
Oh, hydrology, anything.
Yeah. It's so cool to think about that. Maine used to be a desert.
Desert?
Know?
Really?
Yeah, that's how we have so really clean water. Right? So when, for example, Pangea was close to the equator, Maine, where Maine was, all that sandy soil has slowly basically made into a perfect drain or for clean water. So say, for example, we got the white water coming down from the White Mountains, perfectly saturating all this soil, going down in the sandy soil, which is perfect for like pine stands, white pine, oak, a lot of these trees where there's I don't know. It's cool, but dude, geology, soil.
I do love geology, although I can't go that far back. That's stuff I wish I had learned more about.
Yeah, that's why Poland Spring is like basically the best water in the world is from Maine, because we have an old desert, but we have a forest on top, so we have water basically cycling through it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I know more about like
freshwater reserves and stuff. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Like aquifers, those kind of. Yeah, very important. I'm more well versed in like recent, like last, like 20,000 years of Maine's like geologic history.
That's cool. Yeah.
Like a recession of the glaciers. You have the
Acadia is like receding down right now, right?
Yeah, it's possible. I forget. There's this effect that I can't remember right now. When basically isostatic depression. So when you have this glacier, it melts, and its glaciers have a huge weight upon Earth's mantle, so they depress the crust, and so then all this water seeps back in, and that's why there's a lot of different interesting phenomenon along the Maine coast in the last 12,000 years, because you have all that water rushing inwards, and then as the Earth kind of crustal rebound, it pushes the coastline back out, so that impacts all sorts of different tree species. I mean,
because it's re-emerging, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The coastline. Yeah, that is so cool.
It is pretty interesting
to think about everything that happens in the world that has happened for thousands and thousands of years, and how it's still changing because of something that happened thousands of years ago. Like, who's that guy? I can't remember the name, but the guy who first made the theory that Pangea was the one continent, and then if you look at a map, you think, oh my god. They look like Wagner or something like that. Wagner's theory, I do believe. He's a German guy, but it looks like the whole Earth's a puzzle piece.
Yeah, well, you can tell. I mean, if you look at the different mountain ranges, you're able to see where they connect, or the different plates where they line up. It is interesting. But to put that all together, it takes a lot of thought.
A lot of thought. And did they have like maps back then? I think it was in the 1890s when he.
I don't know if they had like detailed.
Not detailed maps. No.
But they would have had something. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is cool. Yeah.
No, for sure.
But Right, dude. Geology is cool. You said you're into archaeology.
Yep, that's my main focus. I work at the Northeast Prehistory Lab, so it's in the basement of South Stevens over on campus, right on the main drag there.
Oh yeah.
I work there with one of my professors. She's the lab manager. I'm just a lowly lab assistant, but I get to rebag, catalog all these different artifacts and all sorts of like cultural materials from different sites across
Yeah.
Maine and and
Oh,
from
that
further
is
away.
sweet.
It is. It's really fun to get hands on with the stuff because some of those artifacts are really interesting, and it's mostly prehistory, so it's not a whole lot of colonial stuff there, but it's mostly indigenous, which is important, I think. Indigenous history is not something that's celebrated in the field of archaeology, because when you think archaeology, you think the pyramids, you think the Parthenon, you think all
Right,
these
right.
classical Roman or Greco-Roman classical archaeology. Um, so it's important to kind of change the narrative. 'Cause I tell a lot of people, or I get, oh, Maine doesn't have much of a history in archaeology. Like, what is there? And there's a lot to
Absolutely
find.
not. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
there's
lot to
plenty.
find.
There's plenty, but it's
Have
not
you
well
ever
documented.
seen this is maybe a little bit unrelated, but when a spruce tree knocks over, yeah,
Mhm.
we have a lot of spruce trees in like the northern part of the coast of Maine, but they fall over naturally and the whole root system picks up. Have you ever seen that?
I have, yeah.
Same thing happens with pine trees because they don't really grow many layers of soil into the ground.
Oh, they just have underdeveloped root systems, or is it
Yeah,
just by nature? It's
just they don't have a taproot that goes through, penetrates through soil layers.
okay.
They just basically grow and then grow outwards.
Huh.
So if it's an unsturdy soil layer, then the whole thing's gonna tip over.
Yeah.
But underneath that tree, sometimes will be like shells where like
Yep.
Native Americans have like shucked.
Oh, that's one of my most that's what my project focuses on, is shell middens.
Oh yeah.
So I want to
It's like an
say,
Easter egg. The rare Pokemon.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's a good example of like bioturbation and all these different. It's the process wherein like organics kind of disturb the layer and the archaeological layer. But it's great because that you wouldn't know to look for that until it pops up. But yeah, that behavior you described, it's indicative of shellmans, where Native Americans would take mollusks, they'd harvest them, deposit them in a big heap, usually along a river or some body of water. They did that for the past 2,000 years, or excuse me, the past 5,000 years ago. We have evidence for it. So before that, we don't have much evidence because it's along the coast. So
A lot of it gets wiped away.
a lot of it gets wiped away,
And we
due
don't
to
have any
coastal
trees that are
erosion.
5,000 years old.
Very good point. Although not that you need trees to find them. Some of them, they're on embankments and they're due to rising sea levels, they're eroding, or
Yeah. I mean, think about how hard it is. Like, if me and you want to become a fossil, we don't only, okay, we die. We need to die in the right place. And then the right rocks need to fall on top of us. Like, if limestone falls, like, we're fucked, Like, so much needs to happen. And then, like, water needs to come in to preserve you,
Yeah.
And then it's like, damn, you got to get lucky, win the fossil lottery.
Yeah. And I mean, you need a lot of heat and pressure too to like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're completely right.
But northern Canada must be perfect for that, where it's all basically a desert, a bog.
Oh, up in the archipelago, or like little.
I was just thinking where it's I guess maybe not that, but marshland.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's cold. What do you
like
call
a
that?
tundra kind of type
Tundra
deal, or
type deal.
tundra,
Yeah, between the boreal and the tundra.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
where it's really there's a lot of water and a lot of lakes,
Mhm.
really in that area, and you're below Huron Bay.
Yeah, but not like lots of but not a lot of organic material. That's what you're
Right,
saying,
exactly. A lot of plants and swamps and just stuff to, to be preserved under.
Mm.
But I don't know. It's cool though. I see a lot of going back to the Native Americans. I was watching a documentary on like jewelry,
Mhm.
and they were saying the oldest artifacts we've ever found of jewelry in caves and stuff like that. It's like, why?
Oh, yeah, why adornment, or why those specific items? It's a
Right.
good question. I mean, I think it speaks to some creative side that people have, perhaps, or maybe it signifies importance, or it's a trade item,
Right.
or something like that. I mean, it's hard to know because,
Like, we just want to look pretty.
yeah, I mean, hey,
Yeah.
you got to stunt if you can't.
Yeah. No other animal gives a fuck about what they look like.
That's a fair point. Yeah,
Dogs don't give a fuck.
magpies.
Pop a boner in front of you.
Fucking dog.
They got slobber all over them. They just want them to love you. You know what I mean? It's like, we're trying to look good.
Yeah,
you know.
And stuff like that's pretty interesting because they have these. They've dated them across multiple cultures and across, a wide span of time. Oh yeah, all good. I keep.
No, it's just these mic stands. They're short.
Moving away here. Yeah. Venus figurines, which are like these really, I wish I could show you a picture of them, but they've got like, they're of women, but their features are exaggerated, and it's kind of like meant to represent childbirth. But you find them across a bunch of different cultures, and people wonder why is that? Maybe is it sexuality? Is it birth? Does it have something to do with birth? Is it like, is it venerating some sort of god or something like that? I mean, there's a lot of questions there too, and probably more so than answers. But it is interesting, a lot of those cross-cultural comparisons you can make.
Yeah, actually, this is totally unrelated, but I was watching a documentary on Netflix about fairy tales, and it was saying about Cinderella, how there's this story of this girl who's an orphan that goes to the ball, loses her slipper, and then Prince Charming comes back and the slipper fits. And then there's a big story of the same thing that happened, except for the slipper, it's an olive branch. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's a really similar, like small differences, but the same story across cultures in China, and in Europe and in Africa and all over. And it's like really, really similar story. And it's like,
yeah. What about human nature kind of
draws to the same thing a little bit? Always, it kind of makes you think that, like, one is kind of more on the same page than we all think. We all are like so self-centered, but like really we're all thinking about the same things.
No, I agree. I agree.
Good or bad.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a theory out there that like a lot of the myths there's this structure, you have this hero, there's a hero's journey myth, he has to overcome some obstacles, and then he has an adversary, and then he gets brought into the belly of the beast, and then he emerges the victor, and that's the myth. And that also repeats itself.
Yeah. And I didn't give too many good examples, but when I was watching it, I was yeah.
It's but it is it is odd. I mean, it must speak to some sort of kind of higher level of thinking, or I don't know. Maybe not that, but just the fact that we've kind of replicated the same process over and over.
Yeah.
Or maybe it speaks to the transfer of ideas across like a wide space.
True. It's true, because I mean, dude, even if I can tell you any one of the mistakes I've made or something, I bet you could reflect on that and give me a mistake that you made that actually isn't really similar at all, but we kind of learn the same thing from it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Connection, take a lesson out of it, is that what you're saying?
Right, exactly. So it's like maybe there's like a lot of similar things that people do, whether it's like going against lying to your family or cheating on your wife or whatever, and they like slowly made stories of where not to do this, and there's all these like different ways people have like messed up in the past, to where it's like, oh, maybe actually it's all we all need to learn the same things by making these same mistakes.
That's a very good point. And I think a lot of times, I think religion's a good example of this. Like, they have all these stories, and depending on what I don't know what your personal thoughts are on religion, but I respect all religions.
Oh yeah.
But, I think in a lot of terms they're able to craft these stories that have implications for their culture, and that help guide their culture, or help they help set the standard for morals and values. And so that in turn kind of influences their ways of thought and how they conduct themselves, and it kind of sets up the structure for that.
Definitely.
If it, maybe not a specific society, but that religion, it has those kind of
stepping stones.
Yeah.
I think religion is good. I mean, think about, there's so many, I don't know. I don't want to say I don't believe in anything. I don't friggin' know, I do believe in aliens, and I don't know shit. You know what I mean? Nobody knows.
Yeah, we're of the same opinion, man. Well, maybe not the aliens bit, but
we don't know shit. You know what I mean? It's just something that we don't know. It's like, I do believe in something. I don't know if God or Buddha or whatever you believe in is real, but I do know there's an energy, something, you know what I mean? You ever see like a cat be like, and you're like, what the fuck is he looking at, you know? And he's just tweaking out a little bit. But like, what is he just seeing like the energy move in the air? He have senses that we don't even like? We have 5, maybe 6 if you get that bad feeling in your stomach before the cops come, you know. But
It's
like,
an important one to have, you know. A lot
yeah,
of people aren't blessed with that. You know?
right. But like, dude, what are senses that other animals have that maybe we lack, or maybe we just have really advanced of these senses or brain or something? Like, what gave us the power to like manipulate energy? In I'm not manipulate energy. I'm trying to sound sophisticated, but
No,
like,
but
if we're being real, like, dude, why are we so successful? You know what I
as
mean?
humans, just in general.
Yeah, we
Mm.
like do a lot of things that maybe are similar to a lot of other animals, like try to look good,
Yep.
or not similar at all to a lot of other animals. And I feel like it's hard to say, oh, maybe that's why
What sets
we're
us
more
apart?
advanced. You know what I mean? Maybe we have a god. Maybe it's like, dude, I don't believe in God. I've done mushrooms. That's the closest I've ever felt to God. I'll tell you that much right now, dude.
Oh, man,
Yeah,
I
you know what I
respect
mean?
it.
So it's like, dude, you don't know. Who knows?
I
You know?
don't know. I think, in terms of like what sets humans apart. I mean, it's all. I think it's all related to evolution. Just
Yeah,
the different
true.
choices that have really set us up. Bipedalism. You're standing on 2 legs. Encephalization. Obviously our brains continue as time goes on to grow larger, which is important. But we're just well adapted to our environment, and we're able to spread out and like reproduce and all these other things. And so that's
Yeah, and find other
advantageous.
pleasures.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
think maybe that's part of the equation, is all this stuff that's not generally considered in the realm of science, but is like agency and an interest in all these self-expression, all these other creational aspects.
Yeah, no doubt. Dude, so I was it's kind of unrelated as well. I'm like
Yeah,
12 unrelated topics. Don't matter
let's
though.
go for it.
We're just talking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was thinking. So I was watching this documentary on crows, right? And ravens. You know how they're crazy smart.
Were they corvids? Yeah,
Corvids, it's the same thing. Ravens, crows. It's just different subspecies. So they were saying that they were doing a study with ravens. When there's other ravens around, the raven will be in a field and he'll see the other raven and be like, "Oh, I see you, motherfucker." And if the field has no food in it, the raven will go down and pretend that like there's food in it. So that other
they're
raven will
messing
be
with
like,
them.
yeah, exactly. So that other raven will be looking for all the food. But that other guy will be like, "Peace, buddy. I'm out of here. You're not following my source of food." You see what I'm saying?
That
So
is
it's
very
like,
smart. So they have some higher level of thought there.
maybe,
Or I think it.
maybe they can lie. Maybe that's what set us apart, being like, no. And then people are like, okay,
Yeah, get a little edge.
yeah, right.
Maybe you get to the berries before the other guy does.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
It's
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's not exactly what set us apart. And there's a lot of things that didn't set us apart, but even looking good,
Mhm.
I, you see a person that looks good in a crowd full of people, they set apart.
Yeah. Oh,
You
for
know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah. So kind of zone in like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, dude, it is true. I don't know. That need to stand out. Maybe
Mhm.
that's a little bit to do with it.
Yeah.
Not
Setting
lying,
yourself
but
apart
looking
from the
good.
herd. Yeah. That's important.
I mean, I'm that way a little bit. Like, I'll wear a cowboy hat. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
I like the hat you got on, dude. That's
Oh,
pretty.
cheers!
Yeah,
Thank you,
nice
man.
one.
It's a deer.
Corduroy. That's
Yeah,
pretty slick.
dude. Cheers! It's a snowboarding hat.
Nice.
But dude, hats are underrated.
They are. I've got one I picked up in.
Oh, you were wearing it when you walked in.
Oh, I don't have it
Yeah,
on now, but
that's
as you
okay.
can see, as the audience can see.
Beautiful locks.
But thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Welcome.
Yeah. I picked it up in Acadia. Jay Wall and I went to, which I'll introduce my friend Jacob Wall, bassist for Skyline Drive, which do a little self.
He will be on the show soon.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Jay Wall.
Yeah.
Hopefully he watches this far
Jay
into the
Wall's
video.
man. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, and he's
We'll
like,
see.
"Oh shit,
We'll see if if he says something. If he says something to me, I'll know.
Comment something on the video."
But we did a little backpacking excursion into Acadia, and we just kind of set up, by the water. And when we were hiking over there, on this tree stump, I found this hat, and it's, this old kind of ratty looking hat, but it says "Lobster Boat Races Harpswell, Maine, 2003."
Oh, that's cool.
That's
what
a piece is
Lobster boat races.
Yeah. Oh man, can you even imagine?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be
Dude,
sick.
that means a bunch of lobstermen are getting cranked
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
boat.
you're totally right, dude. They're getting ripped.
They're like 1 day a year. Oh, man.
Time to bring Oyster out. Give her what she's got, dude.
Dude, they got the thickest Maine accents.
I used to work at a fishmonger, like a lobster pot. And I was a fishmonger for like 6 months. So
No shit. Tell me about it.
oh, it was an interesting gig. I did it because I took a semester off of school, and I need to save up some money. You know, I'm not, so let's see. It was
Not to brag, but this guy, don't come to this guy for money, gold
yeah,
diggers.
exactly. Don't put your hand out somewhere else. Slap it away. But I got a job in Kittery, Maine. So this is the most, for all you, it's Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Most southern town in Maine. So, maybe it's not a real lobster pot or lobster pound, but I had a good time there. And I just stood at the fish counter, cut different species of fish up for people, put them on display, chop those, weighed them up, threw lobsters in the pot, that kind of stuff. So
you meet any cool people? You work
I
with
did.
cool
I worked
people?
with a couple people I knew from high school, so that was nice.
Oh yeah.
But some of those guys, man, they were rugged. They were a little gruff. They wear the grudens to work. They give you a hard time. One of them.
They didn't go.
This guy used to. He would. His name was Jimmy. God bless.
God bless
Very
Jimmy.
nice, but he had an addiction issue, and he would. He'd come in, and if he was having a bad day, do not talk to the guy because you would get reamed out for about 20-30 minutes for nothing at all. So you got to steer clear. But he would drive he had this old Honda motorcycle, and in the midwinter he would drive this thing to work in a snowstorm. One time I see him pull up in the motorcycle, and I'm like, this guy's nuts. He's verifiably nuts. But he was very pleasant to work with. There were a couple other people there from the area, and it's tough because when you work in a job like that, you kind of have to prove yourself at first.
Yeah, a lot of hard workers.
Yeah, exactly.
Hard workers in lobstermen.
Oh man, well these aren't lobstermen. They're guys that kind of like they'll buy the crates from lobstermen and they throw them in the back, and they're also doing shipping, and they're doing all these trucks. This is a distributor. This guy, my boss,
right?
And so, but these guys are also. One of them was a lobsterman. A couple were lobstermen, so they've got the same disposition. So
right,
you'd have to earn it over there. But I had a good time. One time I was we had these big cookers for cooking the lobsters, and this guy comes in for his first day, and I didn't have my coffee, and I go in to start up the cooker, and I forget to light the pilot light, which is important, and so instead I turn the gas on all the way and just like that, and then just goes up like fireball and scared the guy out of his mind. But other than that, I didn't mess anything up too bad. Had a good time there.
You freaked him out. Took his left eyebrow off.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I singed my lap when I was off. Oh my god. Burned through my mask, and I was like, I had to sit outside. I was like, oh, okay. I splash some cold water in my face, kind of come to.
That's funny.
You worked any jobs? Some less than stellar jobs?
Oh, dude, plenty.
Yeah.
Of less than stellar jobs.
I saw you were advertising painting. That's not a bad job.
That is actually my sister's boyfriend. Shout out Simon. If you guys need any painting jobs, hit up Simon.
Sick.
He's starting a business.
Cool.
Business guy over there.
Yeah. I respect painting. My uncle's a painter.
Oh yeah.
I'll help him out sometimes.
I'm working a canvassing gig right now. And let me tell you one thing. I don't give a fuck about politics, dude. I don't give a fuck. You know how to bore the fuck out of me? Talk about politics.
Yeah, fair.
Like, I just don't care. And I've just been like that my whole life. I like to talk about society, and I like to talk about like what politics do to people.
Ooh, yes.
But really, when it comes down to it,
like, who's done what? Oh my goodness.
Fucking care. Yeah. This team, that team. It really is. And we were talking about this yesterday on the podcast with one of my buddies. And it's almost that social media is like so divisive that the people that I've realized with people that I know that are a little bit younger, maybe, are really susceptible to just really being triggered by seeing the wrong thing, whether it's a Trump rally, if you're liberal, or just anything to get you riled up. Yeah. Exactly. That's going to be on Facebook or whatever.
That's what gets the views. I mean, that's what they're all about. Those big like tech companies.
Maybe that's what I should do. Talk about controversial stuff.
Oh yeah,
get canceled before I get big.
That'd be funny. Well, I mean,
no,
there's
I'm not doing that.
Do it. I wouldn't say it's the most professional way to go about it, but inciting a riot is one way to get yourself noticed. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, no doubt. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's just people, and a lot of people, I mean, don't really think about it. Think about what they're not voting for. I don't want to,
No, but you're right. They don't consider policy implications. They're looking at it from like an
Right.
identity perspective. It's like this person, they have the same moral values I do, which is
Mhm.
fine. But then once you elect them into office, are they going to carry through on those things? A lot of them don't. I mean,
Yeah, seriously.
I
And it's so hard to sell. Like, you're fine. Things are great right now.
yeah.
Like, things are actually really good. You're perfect. Things are perfect. You're not going to sell any Toyotas on a commercial being like, actually, your Toyota is really fucking good. You don't need a new one.
Yeah, keep the
You're
old one. You
good.
can just fix it up. Just send it to a shop.
America's nice right now. It doesn't need any fixing.
Mm.
You can't sell that, and you can't sell that like an attitude either. You're perfect. That's no way. Fuck no.
You got to create a little distraction. You got to get people up. Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right.
people worried a little bit.
Fear is it's a good tool for the wrong people, I think.
Well,
Right people don't use it.
Yeah, fear, jealousy.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, where I heard on a podcast that somebody was explaining like being bored is a sign of being angry.
Oh, because you're not allowing yourself to go out and do things. Is that kind of the idea, or?
I guess. I don't know. I don't really know, but it did make a lot of sense. When I am bored, I am angry
I get angsty. I get a little anxious and
and rude, and I do.
yeah.
I know I do. But you know what I mean? It is just something to think about.
It's an interesting concept.
Because I'm not like content when I'm bored.
No, I want to be doing something important, and then I'll get on social media and I'll see what people posted, and I'm like, I wish I was doing that.
Oh, that's a good way to
I wish
put
I
it.
was out there skiing right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And that strikes a chord.
Oh yeah. I think there's always a fear of missing out on a lot of things, and it's
FOMO.
okay to like
FOMO.
you got to let it roll off your back.
Yeah.
You got to understand that you can only do so much as a person. Being bored, I think being bored is fine.
Damn, that is the biggest fear though when you're a kid. FOMO.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Social media's made it
Everyone's
so much
been
worse.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get invited to something, everybody's that's always tough, dude.
Yeah, that's a hard place to be when you're a kid. And I can imagine people posting pictures of them in Florida, and that one friend in the friend group's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
spring break. Oh, I bet everybody's, spring break tearing people up inside. Dude.
Yeah, everyone's back home in Maine or North Dakota.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
Yep.
I don't know. Dude, that feeling, that changes you a little bit. Because a lot of people don't have that, They're the ones making the plans, or they're the ones always in on the plans. You know what I mean? And they could become a little bit like conniving. You notice that a little bit?
I have. Well, I think it's good though, because that feeling means you need to like get out a little more. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Maybe not all the time.
No doubt.
If you have it set aside, maybe you want that week to just relax and watch a movie, and even then, you still feel like you're missing out. That's fine,
Yeah.
But if it's kind of a self-reflection type of deal where you think, oh, I just can't do enough, then maybe have it motivate you. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough to hit that self-reflection, that point for anything, dude. Yep. Look at yourself and say, oh man, that was me. Dude, it took me a long time to even, that's growing up. That really is what it is, growing up. Because it's like
analyzing yourself and your patterns and trying to improve yourself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, definitely an ongoing process for everybody. There's no way to, to
ongoing process. Yeah, dude. Everyone's got. We were explaining it in class the other day. My teacher was saying that like attitudes are like if you're floating down a river. And you're like back floating with your back down, and you're just floating down the river, and you can't see the rocks that are in the river that are going to make the white water flow. You could be talking to somebody, and then you bring up the wrong topic, and a huge attitude is just going to sway the conversation and make it flow faster and more aggressively, and maybe they hit that white water. And if you can just really avoid those big boulders that you can't see, but you can kind of work your way around it by the end of the float. You know what I mean?
And I mean, that speaks to like having people skills and knowing how to read people, I think. because you can tell when they get anxious about a topic. You kind of see it. You know, it's get a little shifty or something.
Yeah, dude, totally. Well, going back to where I was working with this canvassing place, it's politics, right? And I was canvassing for the clean energy corridor.
Oh,
And that is a
yeah,
huge
that's a hot
deal.
topic right there.
Hot topic, right? And like I said, I don't give a fuck. What I give a fuck about is the environment that we live in. You know what I mean? I really do. I care about nature. I care about like the things I do care about that do obviously government effect and people. I want people to care about like global warming. You know, maybe electric cars fascinate the fuck out of me.
Well, dude, with the gas prices, honestly,
Exactly.
nowadays, it might be a good time to get one if I had a little more money in my pocket.
Yeah, me too. But say, for example, even the socioeconomics of electricity, like no one should be forced. Oh, you can't pay for electricity this winter.
We're shutting it off.
We're shutting it off. You're gonna be cold as fuck this winter.
Draconian, yeah, really.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of social services I wish people had access to for at least a reduced cost, if not provided by the government, like internet.
Yeah.
You know, everybody needs internet.
Everyone needs
especially
internet.
in today's age. You need to have access to some form of internet to be able to, you know, look at your medical records, schedule an appointment. I mean, anything. I don't know. There's just
no, seriously, you're right. It makes the world so much easier.
Yeah.
We have a brain in our pockets that actually knows everything.
Oh, it's such a crutch sometimes too.
Yeah.
I'll find myself in conversations where I should be like just doing some critical thinking, and instead I'm
like,
on my
phone. Wait,
well, I'll look it up.
Yeah,
you know?
I'll look it up.
Why don't I just guess?
Which
I could be wrong, but I should just be guessing. You know what I'm saying?
True. It was funny. The first podcast, we were like, "What's the population of the U.S.?" And I was like, "I think like 3,000." And then the guy was like, "Actually, it's like 300,000." And I was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, you mean like 330 million? Like
yeah, I meant 300 million. You know what I mean? We were both like, "Yeah, that's it." Like 300,000.
300,000. Wow, yeah, this is a small country, dude.
Yeah, dude. But we were looking at the population chart of the world. Guess what's America? What America number 3? Indonesia.
Really?
285 million.
Wow, that's not a lot of. I can see your map on the wall.
Yeah, I'm huge into maps. I got a map behind me too. Yeah.
Jeez, I don't pick up on these things. Nice. Yeah, there's not a lot of area to go around. That's impressive. Although I guess it, you know, if you consider it like East Asia, I
think it's actually huge, but there's like a shit ton of islands.
Okay, that's what it is. Yeah.
You know, and it's as big as the U.S. like size-wise. But it's just a lot of spotty islands. And if you think about it, like, dude, all those blank areas that you're looking at on the map, we kind of have a bunch of islands where the cities are.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So, like, you know, this is your desert is
your that's just water. Or maybe northern Maine
aspect. Yeah, the trees up there.
Yeah.
It's an interesting way to look at it.
But dude, it was shocking. Obviously, Indonesia.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah. Sorry. Let's go back to this clean energy corridor thing.
Tell me a little bit about this. So, what did they have you doing? You were out in the street, like talking to people, saying, "Hey, this is
knocking on doors."
Oh, knocking on doors.
Yeah, but really, what I was doing, I was just freestyle rapping in my car.
Burning the company time. Yeah. Yep. Hey, I respect that too.
Oh man, it was the worst job ever. I did it. I swear to God, I did it for a couple weeks, and it got to a point where I hated it so much. It was $25 an hour.
That's a good deal.
Plus gas mileage.
No wonder you gotta love it.
Plus gas mileage, which is awesome. But, buddy, I'm scared of dogs. Yeah, I'm going in northern Maine, so it's a bunch of really, really not a lot of money in the neighborhoods, if you know what I mean. And a lot of people that are really opinionated, you know. And so, first day, for example, I was knocking on a door. And this dog comes running up, and I just see this dog from across the living room on this glass door. And I swear to you, I got scared when it hit the glass because I thought it was coming right through for me. You know what I mean? This dog is
like teeth gnashing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then the owner comes out from out back, like, "Get the fuck out of here! Never come back again." You know what I mean? I'm like, "Do not walk." You know what I mean? Like, don't come to this house. But dude, that is nothing. That was every day. That was all the time. And so, like, dude,
it must have affected you a little bit. I think that would affect your drive to come into work. You know what I mean?
Nobody wants to talk to you.
Nobody wants to talk to you. They have no interest.
Nobody
just, like,
wants
get off my property.
Exactly.
Go screw.
Nobody even wants the corridor. It
Yeah.
won like 95-5.
Yeah.
So basically, what I thought about it is, I mean, I brainwashed myself into actually like being like, oh, this is legitimate. This is
Well,
a good
I think
cause.
you have to if you take a job like that. Like, not to
A
be.
little bit.
I mean, I'm
No,
like
no, yeah.
you know, I don't know. I'm not as well educated as I probably should be on the corridor. I know that it's been in the works for a while, and that they voted down because
Yeah.
there was a citizens ballot on that,
Yeah.
and I think that's important.
Oh yeah, no
but
doubt.
I've kind of, because I think a lot of that energy goes to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
Well,
so I'm not.
think about this. Think about this.
Okay.
So, what it originally is, right? And this is what I'm like. No, I don't want. The thing is, I don't want power lines going across the U.S. We have the most beautiful country in the world. We don't need these ugly motherfucking things. But the alternative source is we get energy from a nuclear power plant. Or someplace where we can just say, okay, we're going to make a lot of energy right here instead of transporting it to where it's green and we're not affecting as much, right?
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know shit. I really don't. But my thinking was, oh, well, climate change, obviously, the people who are paying for the ads that are against this corridor are the oil companies that are working the power plants in Florida and Massachusetts, right? They don't want the corridor to come in because they're going to lose a third of their shares in Massachusetts.
Yep.
Because the corridor could have made enough energy for all of New England. A lot of energy instead of 15, 30, 40 power plants, right? So I was thinking, I don't fucking know. Like I said, dude, climate change, fuck the oil companies, you know what I mean? And a lot of groups were going, stop the corridor. And I'm thinking like, what? It's clean. It's clean energy. You know what I mean?
Is it all clean energy? I thought
It's a dam. It's a hydro dam.
Oh, it's a hydroelectric.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
Gotcha.
from the St. Lawrence River. So it's from Quebec Energy. And the problem is CMP. Nobody likes CMP. It's Japanese company. It's not from Maine. But the people who are profiting off the clean energy corridor, if they didn't go in, were also from oil companies and out of the country. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it seemed like when I was canvassing for it, I thought a bunch about it. You know what I mean? I was like, look, I don't want a corridor to go in Maine. You know what I mean? That's gross.
Well,
but I
it's
don't
pretty
want
harmful to the the natural environment, but it is a lot of infrastructure and
yeah.
that creates jobs. So that's
No,
important.
I don't think the
But
jobs aspect has anything to do with it because it would have created like 400 jobs.
I've seen. I mean, there's trucks up.
You know what I
some of the,
mean?
Like the trucks running. I think they're down near like Lisbon area. I want to say.
Oh yeah.
I see them running there.
Oh,
but I don't know. I think.
what trucks?
Oh, I remember the branding on them. I thought they had a lot
Of
I
what?
thought they have a yard over there for some of the
Lumber?
No, for like electrical, like the vehicles they used to.
Oh, CMP.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
CMP
that's it.
trucks.
Yeah, I thought they were related to the quarter, but I could be mistaken.
Oh, Hydro Quebec?
Something like that. Yeah. Because that company's Canadian. Although I do know that they gave a lot of money to Mills's campaign before she was elected.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, there's another conflict because Mills's brother is on the Massachusetts Energy Board.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that hilarious?
What a coincidence.
What a coincidence.
Yeah,
right.
see, when you talk politics, you find all these.
I know.
I know we said we weren't going to do it, but
I didn't know. I didn't friggin' know. But I didn't know that until I was knocking on doors one day and I was talking to this guy, Youngblood, right? And I was like, yeah, so I don't really care. Like, do whatever you want. I was being kind of an ass, not an asshole, but I was basically saying, like, I didn't want you to come at me because of what I'm.
You got to move this conversation along.
Right. I'm just like, do whatever you want. I just want you to, vote no or whatever you want to vote. Like, I don't care. I don't care what you do. And the guy was like, I'm a Republican senator.
Whoa.
And I've been to Hydro Quebec, and we started this in like the 90s, and now it's like, you know what I mean? But here's the big kicker, right? So this is the whole thing why I was originally for the corridor, because it's going to all Massachusetts. Doesn't benefit us.
I was gonna say it's not businesses.
It is through logging roads, which it's people kind of made it. They were showing commercials of clear cuts, like this is what's gonna happen. It's like you're showing us already happened. You know what I mean? But this is with a big thing. So they tie in two laws with that law. And I think they do this with politics a lot.
Oh, they package them up. Yeah. Well, that's in like a lot of different things.
Yeah. Which is super sad.
Just slide in another little part of the bill, to get
So
through.
in like Vermont, right? They have like solar fields. They have like the biggest solar fields infrastructure in the country.
Mhm.
And they have basically 750 like gigawatts, powering Massachusetts, but they can generate like 900 megawatts or way more than what they have, right? But so now they have solar fields that are just not generating any electricity. They are generating electricity, but they can't move it anywhere. So it's just, they're pointless. They're just getting shut down and not just being built. And now we can't get permits to get a line from here to Massachusetts. So now we just spend a fuck ton of money on these solar fields that are now
They
fucked.
should be decommissioning other
Decommissioning. Right.
energy, you would think, but
So that was one problem, what I was thinking. And also I saw this map. This is actually pretty cool. This has something to do with energy. It was showing where all like the windmills and the solar panels basically can be implemented if we're trying to get the goal by 2050.
sure.
I don't know, whatever it is, no emissions, right? And it was all showing it needs to go from the Midwest to California and the coast from Maine to Virginia
Whoa.
to the inland, right? So have you seen the wind turbines,
Oh, yeah.
offshore wind turbines?
Yep. I've seen some
That was the clean energy corridor kicker, is that if you vote no on the clean energy corridor, then the Senate gets to vote about any future green energy project. If you say no on the clean energy corridor, obviously the clean energy corridor is not what anybody wanted.
Yeah.
We want offshore wind turbines that UMaine's working on. But now kicked. That whole project gone in the trash.
That's a shame.
Because now Senate can vote on it instead of people.
I didn't know that.
So you could have voted for the corridor, and we can make any decision we want on green energy in the future. Or you can vote no on the corridor and Senate 13 people decide whether. Shit. Dude, obviously it's
quite a choice, yeah.
Quite a choice.
Especially when you can, donate to those people's campaigns. You can,
you
lose a little bit of
politics is so greasy.
Dude, Citizens versus United, important case. Since they overturned that, now you can, PACs have arisen. Now you can give oodles of money to your favorite, representative.
Do you think a lot about politics?
I mean, I don't know.
Are you Democrat or Republican? I'm politically homeless.
Yeah, I like to say that as well. I mean, I definitely have my leanings. I probably lean pretty left,
Yeah.
But no, I used to be more interested in it than I am now. Kind of the whole 2016 election cycle just took it out of me, and I was like, you know what?
Put it in you. Put it in you.
No, I guess I was done. I was like, after this, I don't need to pay attention as much as I used to. It's not.
Yeah.
It does affect. It does affect our lives, but it's maybe from a sense of hopelessness. I was just like, I need to not.
Dude, does it affect
work myself up over politics every time?
That's a good yeah, dude. That's a good way to think about it. I was thinking because I would get up in the morning and make toast. And I would make myself some tea.
I just had a couple cup of teas this morning.
And I would be like, wait a minute. Whoever's president does not affect
right
what type of toast I'm eating. Maybe it does, but no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, wait a minute, I'm freaking out about something that's I'm supposed to be.
Well, it's like all of what you can control, and you can control stuff that happens in your local community, and you can make a difference on those kind of boards that they're like local energy board or town energy board or town council. Those sort of things.
That would be cool. That'd be cool to be in on your town board.
Yeah, right.
And being like a young dude.
Oh, yeah.
Some old people. Yeah.
I sat in an energy board meeting one time in my hometown of Elliott, Maine, and they were making decisions about what kind of streetlights to put up and what they were going to use, and they were like, "Oh, we're going to use solar for this," and they had a budget and they found a model they were going to use, and boom, they implemented them. Now that's not exciting, it's not a huge change, but it's important, and it's the kind of work you or I or any citizen that has half an interest and some knowledge can do. So that's where the decisions get made for us. I mean, stuff like
higher up decisions.
Yeah, it's
no, definitely
you should care and you should still vote,
but
to let it like work you up to the point where when you get out of bed in the morning and your first thing you think about is like who's president, who's
he said
politics.
what?
Yeah, I can't believe he said that on the news. It's
like a gut punch.
Get upset about the overlying or the underlying policy. Don't get upset because he said.
I realized too, like I mean, I don't know. Friggin' that's politics, baby. Have you seen that Always Sunny? Do you know Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Of course. We'll throw like a TV on when we're just sitting, chilling, doing some homework. We ran through that thing in like
so funny. Yeah, I love when they all run for office. And they're all like switching sides, and that's politics.
Getting backstabbed. One of my favorite episodes is the one with the gas, where they're like taking the gas and they put it in the van. And,
oh yeah, that's like right now.
Yeah, really.
They're not doing drugs for listeners.
Yeah, no, they're not smoking it's not gases in that kind of this ain't a gas station.
It's funny.
It's a great show,
dude. So speaking of archaeology, I want to tell this little story about when I was a freshman in high school. I was in this like English science class. It was a mixed thing. It was called Outdoor Learning and Research Center. So like 12 kids were in it, and it was like for the kids who just wanted to be outside, didn't give a fuck about school. You know what I mean? Which if a lot of kids just want to be normal and just want to be inside, but some you know what I mean.
Well, you get the energy out, you get to be out in nature.
Yeah, you're hanging out with your friends, you're learning, hands-on learning. Which, dude, that's huge for me. But personally, we had to do a final, and I remember we had May terms in high school. So when you finish your finals in like, what is it? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, January, February, March, April, May, April. So after April, you would take finals, and it would be May terms. So you take a 3-week class worth like 2 credits. Oh. That was, and we had archaeology. We had chess. Ooh. We had farming.
What kind of topics?
We had exercise. I wasn't.
You didn't take
archaeology, but for my final for OLRC, this class when I was a kid, I found some bones in this field, right? And I was like, this is fucking cool, right? And so I did this huge dig, right? I plot off this land and brushing away, and I'm like digging and maybe breaking bones in half. I'm hitting them on accident. I'm a kid though, you know what I mean?
I'm like animal bones.
It was a cow. I thought it was going to be a moose or a horse, but it might have been. I think it was a cow.
Nice.
But it was fun. Dude, literally seeing pulling the jawbone out of the dirt.
We've got a lot of samples in the lab. It's so cool. Look at them. I mean, yeah, to find something like that too. I haven't done a field school yet.
Yeah.
Field school coming up this June. I'm going to. It's up in Machiasport, Maine.
Oh yeah, Machias.
Yeah, and it'll be a Shellman. That'll be interesting. Sorry.
No, that is cool.
Yeah. I mean that's it. I mean that kind of joy that comes with discovering something that was hidden and is being refound is really, I relate to that a lot. I think that's quite interesting. And just discovering, it's all like you're putting the puzzle pieces together. I think that's a key aspect of archaeology.
You don't know what it is at all
at
first.
Or you have an idea like this, my capstone I'm working on. I'm using ArcGIS and I'm reading site records, and I'm trying to map out these 2 distinct cultures that are present that created shellmans along the Maine coast.
Oh, cool.
About 5,000 years ago. Yeah. So archaic period. So
you're making maps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. ArcGIS, which I think you said.
I'm in right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Are you taking it with? I need to be there right now. Excuse me, folks. I'll be back. Who's the teacher for that
one? Tony Guayampari.
Oh, I haven't had him.
But there is a Machias GIS class.
Yeah, I've taken that one.
It's okay.
Wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I had to do this one. I can't do online anymore.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
Fair enough. Yeah, like we were saying earlier, dude. I not built for online classes. If I know I can put it off, I'm gonna put it off and not do it.
But you were saying about the intermitting mollusks.
So the mollusks. So that's like your shellfish. So mussels, clams, anything like that. Oysters. They shuck them. They put them on a riverbank, or there's a lot of different theories out there. They think maybe they're there's one in whaleback shellman or glidden is in Daramuscata, and I highly recommend going to visit it for anybody that's in the area. It's on the Daramuscata River, and it was harvested in the 1800s to use for chicken feed because of the calcium carbonate in the shells is really good for that. It's good for animals. But this thing was, I'm like tens of feet deep shells, and it spans a gigantic area. I mean, I don't even know how to like. It spans both sides of the riverbank.
This was a Native American, though.
This is indigenous people.
Oh, this is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow.
And this, well, I just say 1800s because that's when people came in and they saw that it was there. They're like, oh, we can make money off of this. Let's cut it up and sell it to farmers. But that was done all throughout the past several thousand years. And that it's, if you were to go take a canoe down that river and look at that, I mean, it would have been amazing to see like just these white shells on either side of you for like
bankings.
These huge
like
banks.
Snow banking.
But yeah, but that's, I mean, there might be more out there like that. There's almost 2,000 shellments in Maine all along the coast.
Oh, and a lot of haven't been found.
Still finding them, yeah. And it's all that more important that they're documented because coastal erosion and coastal development are huge. You know, everybody's buying up coastal properties. They want to have a nice view of the water. You know, I blame the Massachusetts people for that, but
yeah. Well, you're from Massachusetts. So,
yeah.
Come on, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I need. Well, I'm from like a tourist town.
Yeah.
So everybody from Massachusetts, when they say they want to be like, oh, I went to Maine. You know, they go to York and they go look at Nubble Lighthouse and they come to the park where I used to work and that's it. So, you know, that's their deal.
I went to Maine this weekend.
Yeah, I went to Maine. I got to.
It was lit.
It's not real Maine. It's fake Maine. We set it up. We make money off of it. Come on, people.
Yeah.
But yes. Oh yeah. So anyway, but there are tons of these shellments, and there's a lot of different artifacts in them. You can find stone points, like bones from different animals that have gone extinct too sometimes, and they've even found
fish bones.
Oh yeah, fish bones, moose bones, seal bones. I found one day I was looking at, it was in the lab, and I was looking at some bones, and I couldn't figure out this one really weirdly shaped. And so I give it to the other lab assistant, and he goes, oh, you know what that looks like? Looks like a seal skull. Believe it or not, we pull up a picture of a seal. It's like this weird piece on the back of his neck that meets with the spine. And sure enough, it was a seal. So they harvested seals.
Oh, that's cool.
But then you also find these different variations in the way that they create their projectile points. So these lithic technologies, or what they source them from. So maybe their arrowheads really it's really got these
thick and pointy.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's not
specific.
And so you can relate it to a culture.
You say this is Penobscot, this is Abenaki, this is Micmac. Yeah.
Or like those are more contemporary tribes, but I don't
cultures. Mean aren't they all the same thing?
Well, yeah, they're all Wabanaki. Well, like you have
but different
different
specifically different tribes.
So there was, in my capstone I'm looking at, there are these small stem point, they're archaic people that are, I forget the name of the culture, they're on the coast, and then this group comes up from Georgia in the south, and they've got a whole different look system, a whole different look, and so they displaced them, or we don't know if they displaced them or not, but either way, the old culture moves inland and these guys move to the coast. And this happens at around the same time that you know where the Bay of Fundy is?
No.
It's up in Canada. It's still in the Gulf of Maine, but anyway.
Okay,
it's where it's got the highest tide in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Or the highest tidal amplitude, so change from low tide to high tide.
Yeah.
But anyway, up near there was this big glacial ridge. And one day it let loose and let all this water in from one of the back bays into the Gulf of Maine. And all that water changed the way upwelling works. And so upwelling's the rising of cold water, like circulation of water in like sea or ocean or what have you. And that affected the water layers. You used to have this warm surface layer for water in the Gulf of Maine. And so the temperature was like, I don't know, maybe 10 degrees warmer or something like that, which affects all these different species of fish. And so that swordfish used to be able to swim like inshore, like
for Maine.
Yeah, for Maine, which is wild. And so that impacts what people can eat and what they harvest. And so when that changed about 3,800 years ago, that glacial ridge lets loose, all that water comes in.
It was all the way to New York City, right? The glacier was receded.
So that's different. So this is like
This was not even that long ago, 3,000 years ago.
Yeah, so this isn't a glacier. It's like a glacial. It's like a weird. Um, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a big mound of dirt that's been left by a glacier, but
Okay,
it
yeah.
held back all this water, and so once that thing kind of fell through, all
Yeah.
the water came in, and so that's what changed it. And so now you have a tidal amplitude that's like, instead of a couple feet, it's like 8 feet or 12 feet, maybe 8 to 12 feet difference in the tide.
Right.
So it's a pretty significant difference. But before that, we didn't have that. But it affects what people are able to eat, and so that's why I'm looking at this, because that change happens the same time these cultures move. So I'm trying to see
Oh,
if there's a
yeah.
connection there.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
haven't been able to, I've read a lot of site reports and I have yet to map them. So when I map them, hopefully that'll tell me what I need
Yeah,
to know.
because it could be, all these species of fish that these guys are living off of,
Mhm.
They were here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
well-
were actually here. It's not that, they are so old that it was when Maine was in a place where they could been, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It was that the water was so warm. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really interesting, because something like that, you would think, if given today's conditions, that maybe they had to, because swordfish, they don't do well in shallow water. They swim in very deep water, which
Right.
you enjoy fishing. That's the case.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you wouldn't think
I've never
that,
been deep sea fishing. Never been
oh,
in the
really?
ocean.
Neither
yet.
have I. I've never chartered. I'd love to do
That'd
it.
be
But
so awesome.
it'd
Yeah.
be pretty sick. I just, it's an expensive charter boat.
It would be worth it to do it once when you have money.
Yeah.
When you find this
one of these
out.
days,
Yeah.
one of these days I'll win
When you
lottery
shuck
or
some
something.
clams.
Yeah, go back to the lobster pot, dude.
Shuck some mullocks.
Some mollusks. Yeah. Oh, I do love oysters. They're tasty.
Oh, so good. You know what's the best part about an oyster? The little muscle on the top shell that you just.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to get off, but you just, bite it off. You
Oh,
do
I
whatever.
always cut it. I use the oyster knife. I'm lazy like that.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm from the woods, dude.
Mm.
I didn't grow up near the ocean.
You ever had oysters from Dermiscata?
Never. No.
Oh, those are the best ones,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Yeah.
I
Moon dancers are nice and big. They're tasty.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
cool. Wait, where is Terramoscata? Is that in southern Maine?
No, it's northeast of Portland, I want to say. It's mid coast.
It's mid coast. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you get a chance, definitely try some of those oysters. They're good.
I will.
You like them.
They're good,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, it's cool. We're from a place where lobster and trees, lobster and white pine.
That's what people think.
Lobster and white pine.
That's what they think of when they think of Maine.
I know. I heard, dude. There's like $4 billion worth of white pine in the state.
Moses.
$4 billion. It's not even that much if you think about it. There's 33,000 people that work in the forestry industry. $4 billion.
Wow.
I guess divided. I hope that gets divided well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, split that up. You should be making quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, that logging's a big industry. Lumber prices, I don't know how bad they are now, but they were pretty high.
Yeah,
so
they were
that,
high.
There's a demand that's obviously needs to be met. So
Yeah.
sustainable logging is important. You gotta be able to do that.
Seriously,
Yeah.
dude, it's cool. Cool how they converge.
Yeah.
I like the ocean. I love the ocean.
Mhm.
Dude, what's your favorite fish?
Ooh, I like. Actually, so I was not, speaking of spring break, I went to Jacksonville to visit my aunt, and then we drove up to, it was a family spring break, so it doesn't really count. I went to a couple bars by myself for St. Patty's Day, but I didn't really go wild. But anyway, we drove up to Charleston, South Carolina, because my mom's a marine biologist, and so she was scoping out their aquarium, because they're expanding her aquarium. So they want to look at all, and I was looking at some of the fish species there, and I really like the alligator gar. The ones that have the really long nose.
Yep.
Those guys are probably my favorite. Although,
Oh, those are old.
I like lumpfish. Yeah, they are really old.
They're
Yeah.
old. Those are dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's funny thinking about like old people in like Florida. Think about when they're just golfing, drinking, having a good time, and they see a dinosaur emerge from that like man-made swamp. And instead of like getting scared of it, they just like video it.
They're like, yeah, this is
Yeah,
so cool.
yeah.
That's great. Yeah, look at that guy go.
Thing's sweet,
Or I love
that
watching
thing
videos
could
of people,
tear you apart.
like golfers messing with oh yeah, so the fish I'm talking about, like alligator gar, so they're a little different. But like I love watching videos of golfers mess with alligators.
Yeah.
Like they try to get them off the green,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, you can tell if they're from Florida or not because they either don't give a shit or they're like, oh God, he's gonna get me. You know, they're like 30, 40 feet away. It's kind of funny.
It is funny, dude. Alligator, they have like a chainsaw on their nose, right?
I think, yeah.
Not chainsaw, but
yeah,
it looks like it.
It looks like one, yeah.
Thing could do damage.
I bet,
dude. I bet if you caught that, what are you gonna do on it?
I don't know.
Get that on the end, you're gonna be like, oh goddamn,
put it back.
Yeah,
put
it
just
back.
Like cut the line. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, this got a sword on the end of it. Have you seen that video of or not that video? I want to like post. I want to have a little section of my screen where we can pull up videos.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
like you can react to them and stuff.
Yeah, like people on the thing could see them. I'm still trying to get on Spotify though. I have to pay a bunch of money. It's a whole.
I had to set up a Spotify for the band. Yeah.
Oh, can you help me out with that?
Yeah, sure.
Dude, that'd be mint.
I got you,
dude. Yeah, because I thought you'd have to. Do you have to pay to publish it?
I don't know what the deal is with podcasts, but I can look into it. But you probably do because you have to have a music distributor. So
right.
Yeah, but it's not terribly expensive.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll pay for it.
Yeah,
but definitely.
Yeah, we can talk some
buddy.
shop. Yeah, I did bring my laptop. So
do you have Spotify or
Yeah. Oh yeah, Skyline Drive is the band that I.
Skyline Drive. Shout out.
So shout out the boys. Got Adam Chenier on drums. We got Ben, my boy Ben.
Adam's basically like this guy. Honestly,
I know.
You said something earlier, and I was like, okay, Adam.
So
what was that?
Oh yeah. Okay. Whenever I go to a show, people always say they either get me confused for Adam or they think we're brothers. And I'll take the brothers thing because
you look like him. He's a good-looking guy.
We're both. Yeah, you know, we got it going on. But it's funny because every time it's like, hey Adam, I'm like, it's Aidan,
buddy.
It's close, but no
Adam,
cigar,
Aidan.
Yeah,
I called you that in the beginning of the podcast. I wasn't even thinking about that.
No, don't worry about it. It happens. But Adam, Ben, and then we got Jacob Wall. We got backup.
Jay Wall.
He's on bass.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got my boy Joseph Leonard. He's on guitar.
Yeah.
So those guys comprise Skyline Drive. It's do a plug here. On Insta, we're at Skyline__drive.
Yeah.
We got stuff
follow.
on Spotify. Yeah, please do. Give us a follow. We got a show this Friday, and then we got one Divest Fest.
But hey, Divest Fest is the same weekend as Reggae Fest, buddy.
I know,
buddy.
We're gonna get everybody nice and toasted for Divest Fest. We're gonna get them in the right state of mind. This is Divest Fest. I mean, this is gonna be a chill time.
It is
a lot of people.
It's gonna be a chill
jamming.
time.
We got 5 bands up there. We're gonna have some speeches in between.
There you go.
It's gonna be really nice.
Go.
It's all about the environment.
Some
it's all about
speeches.
fossil fuel divestment. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's good. It'll be Yoni.
Of course.
Yeah,
no, he's on the
course.
He was going to be on
the
the podcast yesterday.
Yoni. Yeah, but it's at his place.
Yeah. You know Matt Gambino?
Yes.
I'm good friends with him.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm good friends with Yoni too. I've known him forever. But
I know Matt. I don't know Matt like
Gambino.
But
I understand. He looks like so many people. I'm now realizing.
That's funny,
dude. Redheads look similar sometimes. I'm sorry, redhead. My girlfriend's redhead.
Oh really?
Yeah, no, she's gorgeous though. She looks way better than Matt Gambino. Just kidding, Matt.
That's funny. Oh man, yeah, dude. I'm excited for this though. If you can make it, be there, please. It'd be great to see.
Yeah.
But if not,
Divest.
See you at Reggae Fest because we're gonna be up there the next day. So.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be saying the night at the cabin? Oh no.
I don't know. Yeah, probably not.
We'll see.
We'll hoof it.
I want to go to both. I
Yep.
want to go to both. I don't know. It's next weekend, right?
Yeah.
Let's go, dude. I'm stoked. Dude, I hope it can become a thing because I think a lot of the people that are throwing it are like sophomores and juniors.
Mhm.
So next year they can do it again.
Exactly.
And the next year they can do it again. And if they do it 3 years in a row, there's going to be people willing to divest.
Yeah.
Not willing to divest, but willing to throw it again.
Yeah, I think so. And it's got a really good energy behind it. All the people in
Super
the
nice.
club are so wonderful. I think
Made it on a club, yeah.
This is a fossil fuel divestment club. Although it's a lot of the same actors that are in the outing club. So I'm not surprised that you get those really good people that care about the environment.
Yeah, dude, no doubt.
Outdoorsy people.
No doubt.
I went to high school with the person who's organizing it.
Jess?
Jess,
I was about to say I knew her.
Jess Ruding, yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely
Shout out
person.
Jess.
Yeah.
She's dating Matt Gambino.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dude, the more you know.
Dude, I actually know a bunch of people. We're not gonna name drop, but we're gonna actually. So no,
You're well connected, man, Manny. I'm not surprised. You got the connections. You're
You-
hooked into the matrix.
you got to be
Yeah.
networking.
It's
you
true.
know? Yeah.
It's true.
No. So Elliot, do you know Brett Jervis? Maybe.
I do.
Oh
Brett
man,
Gervais. Yeah, what a guy.
I think you
Shout
just
out.
cut. No, it wasn't him. I love Brett Jervis, dude. Kyle Jervis is so
Dude, Kyle's such a cracker.
so funny, dude.
Oh.
Both of those guys are
I
wicked
haven't
good
seen
guys.
him in a while, but they're such nice people. And
Seriously,
they're a riot.
they are a riot.
Yeah.
Our dads were best friends in high school.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who else do I know? I know Dylan Frank. I don't know him. I knew when we were kids, but I know. Yeah.
Were you down that way when you were younger?
No, a lot of people would come camping on my campground.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then I know these football dudes, Easton and Tommy.
Yep.
You know them.
Yeah, I do know them, yeah.
Shout out I don't even know what happened to those guys. Those guys were gonna.
Tommy plays. I think he's on the football team.
He's on the football team.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Dude, he was a wicked nice guy.
He is nice.
Yeah.
Those guys. Yeah, they played for high school football. Marshwood Hawks, baby. I played for 2 years. I was like terrible.
Football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, look, I got 2 rings. That's all I really.
Dude, you played football on a stage.
Exactly.
You know what my football team did?
What's that?
I was football team. I can't talk. Can't say anything. About the football team. My soccer team went like 50 all 4 years. So it's okay, dude. What I've learned, okay, sometimes you'd show up to a game and there wouldn't even be enough people on your team to play. So it'd be like, all right, you lose before you even play. So then like we don't care if we win. We just want to like
have a good time, mess around. Yeah.
I feel like it made me so uncompetitive. Honestly, so uncompetitive, just being like, oh, fuck.
Dude, my lacrosse team was like that. We lost damn near every game.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, who cared, dude? Nobody cared. The goalie used to just like, oh man, this guy
Yeah,
rip shots, like in high school. You know what I'm saying? He'd like rip shots and then go get in goal. You know,
Yeah.
Like one of them, not the kid I was in my grade, but the guy above, he would do that. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come on, you know,
buddy.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like when you're on a losing team, you kind of go through a lot of harder things together. So you can become, it could be bad. But when you win a game,
oh, it's such a good feeling.
Such a good
We won
feeling.
I think a single game against Massabesic, who had like the worst lacrosse program ever. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
we were like, yeah, we beat them. It's like by like by 1 or 2.
It's funny.
Yeah.
No, dude, it is so funny because like we'd be playing a couple of these teams from northern Maine, middle of nowhere, not northern Maine, just from the middle of nowhere. There's like 50 kids in the town.
Yep.
Buddy, maybe 11 of them play soccer, you know, and we would win, right? We would win like 1-0. Be like, oh yeah, carry it on. And then we'd play like southern Maine, and then we get beat like 9-0. You know, and we'd be like, oh shoot, we forgot.
Some of those Portland teams, they're pretty. With like Thornton, they were always serious, you know, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, dude. I was. Did you went to Noble?
Marshwood.
That's it. Yeah. You guys were awesome at football.
Yeah.
And soccer.
Yep, the soccer team was good.
We'd always get on to play them.
Yeah, and then our wrestling. We had a great wrestling program. I didn't do that though.
Yeah, I did wrestling for 2 weeks. Dude.
Really?
Got my ass kicked.
Yeah,
all the time.
It seems to be like a very physical sport. You really have to get into it.
Dude, it's a little story. I when I was in high school, I was a senior in high school, and I was really good friends with these kids, these like best friends with these 2 kids. And one of them basically, we just had a big falling out. We were both being dicks. I was being a dick. They were being dicks.
The way
you know,
it goes in high school.
The way it goes. Yeah, you're just growing up. But I did wrestling because I wanted to be friends with them still. You know what I mean? But we were they were on the football team. I was on the soccer. We were just going our different ways. You know. Yep. And I was. You know, I'll do wrestling. You know what I mean? I do it with my other homie that is like just like me, plays soccer, does lacrosse, smokes a bunch of dope. Like it's not like, you know. And I went every day for 3 weeks and just got pummeled by these kids that didn't like me. But it was like, boom, boom, boom. But when you realize, I remember one of the kids that would just go so hard at me every day. He was a nice guy, but he was just a wrestling kid. Then we went to a tournament and this girl in his weight class beat his ass.
Oh no.
Which is okay.
Yeah, no, good for her. I mean,
but it makes me realize like, dude, this is not about strength.
No, it's about like mind
You can
games.
hurt someone if you're strong, but you can tap someone out if you know what you're doing.
Huh.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Technique based is what you're saying.
yeah, it's
Okay.
so technique based. I think it's super like you like, dude, be super, 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 super tired, right? Using all your strength, sweating all the way out of breath, and then you still have to make the best decision in the quickest amount of time.
Mm.
And then if you fail, it was the thing. And it's like, these kids are built different. I never did wrestling until senior year of high school.
Huh.
And I was running with freshmen that were 5.5 pounds overweight the morning before a weigh-in and running in trash bags to
Oh
sweat
my-
out the rest of the
Whoa.
weight and spitting in cups on the bus ride just to lose like 0.5 pounds. They haven't eaten in 4 days. They're
Oh
like,
my-
God damn, give me a hot dog.
I always felt bad for those guys because they always, it's like they torture their bodies to do it. You know?
That can't be good for you,
No,
dude.
but then
No.
they look great, but like also at
Yeah.
what cost? I mean, you have to.
But dude, they're also like, dude, that sport I will say was by far the most intense. Not even close. My buddy that went to boot camp that year said that wrestling practice is harder than boot camp.
Whoa.
Yeah. Football practice, wrestling practice is way harder because the people are so intense.
Yeah.
So intense. And it's an art.
Yeah.
You really think about it, like fighting is an art. That's
Well, you have to really plan out, or you have to know your opponent. You have to know yourself and like what you're capable of, your muscle movements, all those kind of minute details. You have to, stick them together all at once.
exactly. Think quick.
Yep.
But it's cool.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, we got 3 likes. This is the most we've ever gotten in a video.
Oh, wonderful.
All right. Should we wrap it up? Any other
Yeah.
topics actually?
Kind of. We didn't really touch on skiing, but that's
Oh,
cool.
skiing, yeah. No, what else? What else? Archaeology, any other subjects? Oh, dude, I want to talk about this one thing before we end.
Sure.
So, you know how like Genghis Khan, I've been super into him lately, right?
Okay.
Just cool, just coolness. Not because he's cool at all. He's a
Screwed some planes.
psychopath. Yeah, he's a psychopath. But dude, you gotta get to that level of psychopath for no one to name anyone after you ever again.
Well, we heard like it's like they say some like
no one's
small
like
percentage of the world's
Adolf
population
Leavitt.
descend- Yeah. Sure, I hope not.
Genghis Leavitt.
Yikes.
No, I don't know. But what I
I'm
was
naming my sons, yeah.
yeah, Adolf and Genghis.
Yeah, how dare you? Yeah.
Dude, so friggin' that's funny as hell. No, Genghis Khan, he's related to like a ton of people.
Yeah, because I mean they would go
Rape
in
and pillage.
oh my goodness, they would just destroy whole villages, and his troop would like
Ravage.
they would ravage the
Ravage.
lands, dude. It's,
Ravage.
Yeah, it's kind of
But buddy,
terrifying.
But that's the way things were. But cool thing about Genghis Khan was he would go ravage a village, keep going, ravage the next village, and then the next one, and then the next one. And then the next day, he would go back and kill all the people that survived that first wipeout. And then he would go back again after to kill the rest of the people that didn't survive. And then guess what he would do?
Oh, good God.
Bury the city. So their existence didn't even mean anything.
That is ruthless, dude.
Ruthless. So this is what's kind of cool. Dude, that's the ultimate fuck you.
Yeah,
burying your city. You weren't even here. You weren't even here.
It's sent to the underworld, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But that's what they're saying, like with Göbekli Tepe and a lot of other like sites. They're like, what the fuck is this? You know? And then they start digging. They're like, oh my God, this got buried when you know what I mean? This whole city got buried when they ruined the village 3 times in a week and then buried it because they were like, there's no way you're coming back. We own you, basically. Dude, that is a archaeologist's dream.
Oh, for sure. For sure. There's a lot of really interesting cases of like, why cities are buried. I mean, you have examples of like, geological implications. Like you have Mount Vesuvius, Pompeii, boom. Herculaneum.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then there's a site in let's say
Volcano.
Yeah, similar deal. And that's how they figured out that the farmers, like a staple for the Mayans was corn, and the precursor to corn is teosinte. And so they found out that this entire civilization, this small city was covered with a layer of ash, and that's how they were able to figure out that it was a farming settlement, and so that's how they figured it out. That precursor to what is today known as corn, teosinte, the Mayans.
Oh, that's so cool.
They
dude.
harvested it, they cultivated it. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
But-
the Mayans that's a whole rabbit hole I could get down. I love the Mayans.
Oh, they're really great, dude. Their construction techniques are quite impressive. I mean, they had a huge civilization with these really magnificent cities in
Yes,
the
dude,
lowlands.
millions of people. They had
We're not going to-
they had this thing that they said that like the year that Cortez of Mexico came in,
Mhm.
and they had 30 million people, like estimates of 30 million people.
That would have been
and then the
probably
next year,
the
2 million.
been like the Aztecs.
Aztecs. It wasn't Cortez of Mexico.
Pizarro, maybe?
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
They said in Mexico City
Okay.
before.
Oh, Mexico City, dude. That used to be that land used to be a swamp. There used to be like a huge lake.
Yeah.
And it's been so built up by humans living there and expanding and expanding.
Yeah.
It's no longer.
That is so cool.
But there's still
That's
finding
right.
stuff there. It's like they're pulling it out of the mud.
But pulling it out of the mud. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool because super well preserved.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for the most part.
That makes a ton of sense.
Yep.
And it's surrounded by a lake. It has a moat, right?
Not sure. Maybe.
I don't think it has a moat. I think it's like
It's just like in the
it's like
It's part of the reason
Millinocket.
their water quality is so bad. It's like if you go to Mexico City, like the reason the water there's so bad because they don't have good sources for water.
Oh yeah, I think it doesn't really penetrate the soil either. It's like a clay soil, so all the water sits on top. It collects a lot of bacteria. But I don't know.
Oh, I mean, hey, that's pretty interesting.
I think that happens in some place like Florida. That's why Florida has bad water.
Oh.
But whatever I was saying. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, friggin' Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you know why they used to have those big ziggurats and then those lakes?
Sure. Yep.
Or looking at stars.
Yeah. Oh, they would align them with the stars. Yeah. There's
to map.
Yep.
That
exactly.
is cool.
And they had some temples were like lined up so that at a certain point in the year the stars would like align over the temple perfectly.
So
and it's their calendar.
That's why they had the
well
map
developed.
or the map. I mean map of the year calendar.
Yeah, the Mayan calendar is really well preserved. It's too bad they had like scrolls and stuff, but a lot of them were destroyed by monks after the Spanish came in because the Mayan civilization didn't interact with monks, but like.
Yeah.
And it's like they have this kind of rise and fall
monks?
of Mayan civilization. Oh yeah, or not monks, excuse me.
White people.
Yeah, but they're like not friars.
Europeans.
What are they called? Missionaries. There we go.
Oh,
missionaries.
yeah.
Spanish missionaries. They destroyed a lot of Mayan culture. And
think about how you would communicate with people if you just did not know.
If you didn't have they had a language. They have
I know, but you come with a boat full of Spaniards and you're like, hi.
Oh, how do you first establish it? Yeah, I don't.
Hi. Maybe like signs.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, this is horse. This is oh, they didn't have horses before.
I know. No, they introduced horses to the Americas. Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
It is wild to think that in the span of like just several hundred years, horses are now all across
everywhere
North and South America.
Dude, cool story about Columbus. Kind of shows you how much of an asshole but genius he was, right?
He's a terrible guy.
A terrible guy, but story. So when he first came across and discovered Rhode Island province, where?
Oh, he landed in the
first in Massachusetts, but they say
Columbus. No, he was looking for India, and then he hit.
Yeah.
What was that?
The Bahamas. Down here.
Yeah. Or no, it's not I forget the name of that island.
I don't know. Aruba, something
like that.
Yeah, Dominican Republican. I don't know.
I should know.
It was the Southern Islands.
Yes,
it wasn't
the Caribbean. It's like
I was getting confused of when colonizers came.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
But you're right. It was the Southern Islands. But in the Bahamas. Yeah, I should know it too. I it's on the tip of my tongue. Not Cuba, not Jamaica, the chain of islands. Doesn't matter.
Very well, yeah.
So
if we had Google up.
The Azores, are you talking about?
No,
the Azores are my family's from.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Portugal, actually.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, neat. We're
Portuguese. Okay. But sorry, to my
huge
story.
Naval power back in the age of exploration.
Oh yeah. Well, my story was that so basically he got over here and he ran into a tribe of people on the Bahamas, and they had a food storage. They grow food enough for 1 year for their society. and then they would have like a reserve, and if the reserve run out, they die basically.
Sure.
So the Spaniards had a little bit more knowledge on like the moon cycles and stuff. And so they came over, and obviously the Native Americans were like, whoa, who are these gods in these ships coming across? No one's ever seen anything like that ever. And so he's like, okay, we ran out of food. You need to give us your food, And they're like, no, we're not doing that. If you food, we're gonna die, And he's like, well, if you don't give me your food, I'm gonna tell God, and God's gonna make the moon so red with your blood that it's gonna rain on your society for years or whatever. And then blood moon is.
Sure.
They
had no concept.
No concept.
Oh man.
And so he said, this Saturday, if you don't give us food by this Saturday, there's gonna be your blood in the moon deeper than anybody else, because you need to give us your food reserves, because our people are dying. My crew's dying.
Yep.
To be fair, he needs to get home. You know what I mean? He's not over here forever. He's not trying to build a house or anything.
That is devious, dude.
And so there's this really famous picture. I won't look it up, but I'm not gonna mess up the live stream. There's this really famous picture of all the Native Americans bowing at Columbus and pointing at the moon, and he's pointing at the moon, and everyone's like, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I was looking at that picture the other day, and I heard a story about it.
Huh.
And here,
good painting. Yeah. Interesting. Columbus, not a great guy. Kept a lot of slaves. Really decimated the population. I wish I could remember the name of that island. It's kind of killing me. It's an island chain.
Yeah, look.
Oh, that's a nice.
1504. 1492. So this is 8 years after he discovered America.
Wow.
And see, look at, they're all bowing toward him. I'll put the link in the description.
Oh, that's neat. Huh.
Oh, well, Adam. Aidan. My bad. Well, this is our first podcast, so dude, this is pretty good.
No harm, no foul.
Any last words?
Well, thank you for having me. No harm, no foul.
Any last words?
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. It's been a good time. Nice talking with you. Interesting topic today. Covered a lot of ground. Yeah.
We got a cool archaeologist here.
If you see me, you want to talk about archaeology, walk right up. I'm happy to do it anytime.
Yeah, no, well, yeah. Just
shout out to Manny Baptiste podcast. This is going places.
Manny Baptiste talk show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my bad.
Yeah. It's okay. At least you didn't say Michael Baptiste talk show.
All right, no.
All right. Goodbye, people. We love you. If you watched this far. Goodbye.